with this guy. But let's say, for example, you know those random people that you see who come up to you and are like, Jesus is the savior, and they preach at you. How do you feel when someone like that comes up to you guys, both of you?
Faze me, and I think a lot of people who aren't Muslim don't realize that Muslims also believe in Jesus. Obviously, we don't believe he's God. We believe he's a prophet. But I don't think they realize that. So, I don't. Whenever, I don't know if you guys, this is like a very Toronto thing, but there's the guy that we call the believe guy. When you're in the heart of downtown in Toronto, there's this old white man who shouts in your face and just says he tells you believe in the Lord. Like he screams it in your face all the time.
Weird,
but I mean, if you guys ever come to Toronto,
inspired.
You know what it is though? He'll be like quiet and you're just trying to cross the street and he'll startle you so bad.
It's like jump scares at a movie. Like, what are you doing, man? Yeah.
Exactly.
I can respect it to a level because when you're so devout to something that you feel and you truly believe in it and you feel like everyone else needs to hear this now, like there's a certain respect you can give that person. You're like, okay, you really do believe this because you're actually going out in the streets and like preaching it to every person you see. I don't agree with the method exactly because I don't believe that method is super effective. Yeah. But I can respect it to a degree. So that's my opinion on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if someone tries to talk to me and if I'll be honest with you, a lot of the times I'm just not interested in having that type of conversation. I don't want to be converted. So I'll say it. I'll straight up, I'm a devout Muslim, or at least I'm firm in my belief. Thank you, but no thanks. Yeah. And I think it starts to get annoying when you've already told them, I don't want to have this conversation and they continue to try. That's when I'm like, all right, you have 3 seconds to get out of my face before I,
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel? Is that something that happens often in London, or are you in London?
The reason why I brought it up is because that is part of the religion of Christian consciousness, right?
Christian consciousness, even for example, today, every Saturday, we sort of we go to different areas within London and Watford and Hertford, and different areas, and we
which they won't know, but London, basically.
Yeah, London, and we do book distribution and we do chanting of the Lord's name. Obviously, I've come across that experience where you're saying that someone's speaking to you about Christianity and you're like, oh, I'm a Muslim, but they're still carrying on. I mean, that happens even with me in my experience today, because I was doing book distribution and there was a time where they were like, oh, sorry, I understand your religion, but I am a Muslim. And I was just like, oh, that's understandable. I never forced it, because with me, I was still like, if someone's got their own faith, just let them be, and just tell them about Krishna consciousness, and just tell them, it's a way of expressing God, and just it's fine. I've accepted the fact that you said, oh, I've got my own religion, but I do know people that would be like,
go a step further, and obviously I'm not like you. You don't go the step further. I'm not saying that.
Unlike me, and I feel like they shouldn't do that, because now they're making Krishna consciousness seem as if it's being forced.
And that's what extremists do, right?
The way they feel. Yeah, exactly. And people start to think, oh, these Hare Krishnas, man, what are they doing? They're just trying to force us to do something. And I feel like even when I'm trying to give out books to people, they already know, oh, this guy's going to force me. It's straight away just no.
Yeah.
So
do people do this when they walk by you? They just...
Yeah, they do. And they pretend I'm not there sometimes. I'm just there.
But there is a method to where I feel like there's a kind of in between there, where I've seen people do this. There's actually I think a group of Muslims who do this, and somewhere in the UK, where they're more instead of preaching it out or giving it out, they're kind of inviting people.
Right? Yeah.
Sorry?
They're kind of asking questions, right? And feeling you out first. And like we said with the sales thing, you have to match the excitement first and then bring it up. And if you don't manage to bring it up, you have to go home. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Various scenarios, So
yeah, and also just inviting people to be like, if you have questions, I have a table here. Come and ask me, right?
Love.